This video is sponsored by Squarespace. More on that later.
Today we're gonna test our gap skating skills at Dickey Stadium, trying to get as many tricks as we can before the security guard comes. But before that, I wanted to go over the skater stereotypes that you sent in, and I'll tell you how correct you are. The first one, Christopher Hyatt, all of us are stoners. The truth is, I've only hung out with skaters in my life. I don't know if the correlation of skaters who smoke weed versus the amount of people or teenagers or anyone who smokes weed, I don't know if it's higher in skateboarding. I would assume probably so, but definitely not all skaters are stoners. I don't smoke weed. I grew up with a lot of friends who didn't smoke weed, but there was also a lot who did. I don't know the correlation. Not all of us. All skaters being stoners, etc. Wow, there's a lot of people who said the stoner thing. We are all drug addicts. I'm not, bro, stop. Okay, maybe I should confront this more. I will say if you compare the people in my high school versus the crew of skaters I hung out with, we were more of an alternative, hardcore, punk, music, skater scene. And there were a lot of drugs and drinking and unfortunately deaths involved in our community. And I didn't see that a lot in my actual school. So maybe there is a higher correlation of it because it sort of was an anti-establishment sport. You kind of gravitated towards it because you didn't like the way that normal society worked. This sounds so stupid, but ironically, alcohol is the socially acceptable drug, but way worse from what we've seen than weed. So I'm not mad at either, but it isn't universal. Stinky bad kids, troublemakers. I am stinky when I'm out skateboarding all day, but when I go home, I shower, so. I shower. All skaters are bad people. Jesus, I don't think, that cannot be a stereotype. Rebels, I would say in a lot of communities, yes, it maybe still is somewhat of a rebellious behavior, but I think somewhere like California, maybe not so much. Broke, well, this one actually kind of makes sense. If you're pursuing skateboarding as a career, there isn't as much of an infrastructure to pay people to skateboard professionally because how society sees it is it's just sort of an entertainment place. So if you're not entertaining as much as someone else who makes a lot of money in entertainment, then people probably see that you don't deserve as much money. So you can live somewhat of a broke lifestyle pursuing skateboarding. This is funny, according to old people, we are bad ones who do illegal things, but that's only like 0.5% of us. Actually, I would say a lot of skateboarders do a lot of illegal things. A lot of times when I skateboard, even today, we're gonna go skate at Dickey Stadium, that's illegal, but I'm gonna go do it, and I know that cops don't care. So it's one of those laws that are technically a law, but one that isn't super enforced. The ones that give advice but doesn't use it. Yeah, I've had skater coaches at skate parks who are like, hey, if you do this and this and this, and I'm like, well, if that works, why don't you do it? That's how I feel about with all of YouTube. So many people who kind of tell people how to live and do things, and I'm like, then why don't you have the thing that you're talking about? Like how to get 1 million subscribers. Bro, you have 500 subscribers. Headphone users, this one's funny because it sort of is a no-no to go to a skate park if you're trying to socialize and wear headphones. So a lot of skateboarders will actually wear one headphone so they can still listen to music, but it's almost like an open invitation. Obviously, I'm still listening. The overthinker, that's me times 1 million, especially when I'm skating. If I just let my brain stop thinking and skate it in the moment, I'd probably commit to a lot more tricks. Disrespectful of property. This is a tough one. I'm actually from a small town where someone owned most of the town, like one person. So every time we'd skate in an area, that guy would kick us out. We'd go to a different area and then he would kick us out again. And in my head, I thought, well, how fair is that if you have a lot of money and you got it from your family and it got passed down, and then you basically buy a city and then you enforce new rules and regulations in areas where people were once allowed to play, but you no longer want them to play there. So there's kind of this really gray balance there. And I'm not gonna get into the nuances, but I'm just gonna skate it. Middle-aged dad trying to learn how to skate with his kid. Best ones in my opinion. I totally agree. Keep it up. Does the same trick you're trying perfectly while you're trying to learn it. That's whack. That is so lame. Yeah, don't do that. Hates scooters. I also think this is super, super, super lame. It's like, dude, how dare you have 2 wheels while I have 4 wheels? I don't like that. Baggy clothes. I mean, that's a pretty common trope in skateboarding. It's actually almost like getting baggier and baggier. It's almost baggier than the 90s at this point. Gatekeepers, not a fan at all. I feel like people come up with a lot of reasons why they don't want to include other people, and that's just never a good terrain to enter. Satanic. I mean, I grew up in a religious community like the Bible Belt, and I will say most of the skateboarders I knew on my team, etc., did not believe in God. People say we are gay, I don't know why. Yeah, I got called that in high school too for skating, and I'm like, how is that an insult? The annoying know-it-all? What, big pee-pee? Those who do crazy tricks but never got the footy. I've seen this time where they're like, I did this thing. And I'm like, yeah, I know you didn't because I can tell by your skill set in front of me right now that you could never do that. but I don't say that. I just go, oh, sick. Ironically, just got a huge whiff of marijuana. Regardless, obviously, judging anyone based on an activity they do is horrible and stupid, etc., etc. Judging is still, I think, the worst part of humanity and what leads to all the terrible disasters that happened to humankind. So always having empathy for anyone in any field and treating each new person like a new use case, because it should be different every time, and you need to talk and hang out before making a rash judgment. But now, I say we go skate Dickey Stadium.
But first, a quick word from our sponsor, Squarespace. Yeah, how weird is this? Me inside of a place and not outside. It's actually raining right now, which is why I have to do this advertisement inside. But if you haven't heard of Squarespace, it's the best website for building other websites. If you want to start a blog or an online store, or you just want to create a really nice creative portfolio for future hires, then you can use one of their award-winning templates without having to know anything actually about design. So it's a very easy website to use. You can have a whole comment section, like section. You can create your own social media universe. It's also the best thing with email campaigns, which is amazing because you don't have to deal with an algorithm. You can deal with your clientele or audience directly. So check it out. You can also have exclusive classes that you can build on the site that people can pay for, whatever. I think it's just an amazing place for people who are entrepreneurial in that sense. So click in the description down below to get 10% off your first purchase or domain, or do squarespace.com/JohnHill. Or you can just sign up for free. Go to the website and check it out and see if you like it, because I have been using this since way before they ever even hit me up, and it's an amazing website. So check it out, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the video.
Hello, good humans. Today we are walking into the Dickey's Arena, not the skate park for once. This place is kind of a bust, which is why I'm filming quickly, because I have a feeling we might not last. It's a really windy, pretty miserable day. That's why things are falling over, but I might grab the trash can, put it off this loading dock, and try to have one of those like gap sessions, just because it was fun last time I tried it. Feeling pretty solid so far. Luckily the wind is going with us. So I say we do 3 kickflips. I just want to make sure that I get the timing right on this board because it's new and it feels a little longer than usual. So 3 kickflips. Luckily I did the 3 in a row, but the first 2 were so grippy. My foot barely got off the actual board. But I say we switch things up literally by doing the first 3 tricks we did, the switch ollie, or the ollie 180 and back 180, but we do them switch. So far we've gotten pretty lucky. We haven't missed a trick yet, but I'm gonna start trying a switch heel. This one I feel like is gonna be kind of a battle. Still, this board really doesn't feel super comfortable right now, even though it's new and that's exciting. It just feels long for some reason. So switch heel might take a couple tries, but if we land one, I want to do another one. I want to do 2 of them just to make sure that I'm getting the motions in, so that the other tricks we do, I'm more prepared for them. It didn't feel terrible, actually. I didn't catch it the best I could have, but you realize the drop is a lot smaller. Once you jump off, you're like, oh wait, this is like this tall. I'm happy we did it second try, but it wasn't super good. Didn't flick it the way I wanted to. Oh, that's terrible. This is why I decided to skate the drop today, because some of my flip tricks feel good on flat, good into grinds and slides, but just not good off of stuff. It's a whole different medium that you do have to practice to make sure that you do your tricks right off of stuff, because your brain works differently when you're about to go off a drop. So now I do want to focus on maybe trying some nollie tricks. The switch heel felt good, and it feels like I can maybe do some more switch variations, but I want to at least get comfortable with the nollies real quick. So nollie, nollie front 180, nollie back 180, the same 180 rotations, and we'll just see how they feel. Actually hitting the angle for that one's kind of weird. I usually need more of a turn in, so going straight makes it awkward. Yeah, it's definitely harder to hit that angle for me. Flex that up. With the run up, it is a little gravelly, so it's not the smoothest. It's not as smooth as that would be down there, but also these little notches, you have to make sure that your wheel doesn't get in it, so it makes the surface area smaller. And then you wanna make sure your heels or toes don't hit that. So you actually have a skinnier area than you think to hit this. I knew that'd be easier. Now part of me thinks I should just get into a kind of hard trick, like a nollie heel. I'd be stoked to do that now, because there's a lot of other tricks I wanna do, and I think nollie heel is a basic version of some of them, so it has to go down. Good speed, need a better pop. I know I could have landed that if I would have committed, so this try I need to be ready to commit. Hell yeah! I'm so stoked that worked. I'm just gonna jump into a somewhat complex trick. I haven't done down really that many things or anything in a while, which is a nollie backside 180 heel, just because it's set up perfectly for it. But this one is the one that probably will take some time. It'd be cool if I could do it fast, but yeah, not very likely. So let's get into battle. Right before I popped, I thought I was gonna like catch the edge, and I kind of like mentally gave up, and then my body just took over and was like, no, just do it. If my mind wasn't a part of this body, so much more would get done. So I just watched it and I'm juiced. That actually looked better than I thought it was going to. It's a little shadowy, but that's fine. Obviously with these angles that I get, I never, you know, talk too much about how I get the angles of the shots and stuff. And in the future, I do plan on kind of making a video about my whole behind the scenes, because that's obviously a huge facet of my videos to make sure I get the right angles. And if I mess them up, sometimes I'll like do the trick over, but that, I'm happy with that. Like part of me is like, I feel like I should move on since I'm on such a W, but we're here and we haven't gotten kicked out somehow yet. I think it's because it's so loud in the area because the wind is blowing like over the place. They probably just like, well, it's probably just hail or something. So I don't know. Another one I haven't done down anything in a long time, but that was a pretty good first try, honestly. I like that it's an easy trick to commit 1 foot to. It's just really hard to commit 2. If I land this one, that's it, I'm good. Not good, but we did land it, technically. Here comes the security guard. Terrible. Sorry about that.
Next call is going to be the police.
Alright, sorry about that.
Last charge, you have the footage of the skateboard on the ramp.
I should be happy because we technically landed 2 of them. One was really bad, and the second one I didn't land the way I wanted to, but I did land it. So I'm just gonna take it as a W. I felt bad because I couldn't hear what he was saying because I had my headphones on, but I was also like, I gotta land this. I'm sorry, I have to land this before the security guard comes. He came, he was definitely not excited. He was calling for backup as I was leaving. So that's cool, at least I got the full on session, but that's why I wanted to hurry because I didn't want to have to deal with the security guard, but it's all good. I'm out, no harm, no foul. Hope you enjoyed this video and stay tuned for more videos in the future. I'm really excited about skating gaps more, even though I hurt my lower back a little bit, so I need to figure out consistent exercises so that I can do this up into the ages. That's the goal, so thanks a lot. I'll see you next time. 2 videos a week on this channel and my main channel. Take care, progress daily, and keep killing it.